Most people don't really read news articles. They read headlines. And that's often enough for your brain to form a clear opinion about what's going on. Before you've checked the facts, before you've read a single paragraph, the headline has already done most of the work. And that isn't accidental. It's linguistic. Headlines are designed to frame reality quickly, efficiently, and emotionally. They don't just tell you what happened, they subtly guide how you interpret what happened. Take this pair of headlines. Police shoot suspect during arrest, and man shot by police during arrest. Both describe the same event, but they don't feel the same. One foregrounds the police as active agents. The other pushes them into the background. This is a classic example of linguistic framing. By choosing who appears as the subject of the sentence, a headline can quietly shift responsibility and blame. Another common strategy is strategic vagueness. You'll often see headlines like, "Questions raised over ministers' conduct." But who raised the questions? Journalists? Political rivals? The public? The headline sounds factual, but it avoids naming any actors. This makes claims feel serious while protecting the writer from making anything too specific. This often goes hand in hand with what linguists call nominalization, turning actions into abstract nouns. Words like concerns, issues, or problems sound important, but they hide who is actually doing or saying anything. Vagueness creates authority without accountability. Then there's loaded language. Consider phrases like furious backlash, controversial policy, or hardline stance. These words don't just describe events, they evaluate them. They carry emotional weight and guide your judgment before you've had time to form one yourself. The power of these words is that they rarely feel like opinions. They slide into headlines disguised as neutral descriptions, but their job is to frame how you feel. Quotation marks are another subtle trick. A headline like "Government announces success" uses scare quotes to create distance and skepticism without openly criticizing anyone. The writer doesn't need to say they doubt the claim. The quotation marks do that work for them. Numbers are also used in highly persuasive ways. Headlines love statistics, crime up 50%, or millions affected by new policy. Numbers feel objective and factual, but without context, they can be deeply misleading. 50% compared to when? Over what period of time? From what baseline? A rise from 2 cases to 3 is technically a 50% increase, but it tells a very different story from what most readers imagine. Headlines also rely heavily on emotional trigger words like outrage, chaos, or crisis. These words are designed to grab attention, provoke emotion, and encourage sharing. But emotional reactions also reduce critical thinking. When we feel first, we analyze later, if at all. Another common technique is the question headline. Is this the end of democracy, or should we be worried about this new trend? Even when the answer is probably no, the question plants the idea in your mind. In linguistics, we call this presupposition, the assumption hidden inside a question. Once you notice these patterns, it becomes clear that headlines don't simply report reality, they frame it. So how can you read headlines more critically? First, ask who is doing what. Who is named as the actor? Who is missing entirely? Second, look for emotionally loaded words. Try mentally replacing them with neutral alternatives and see how much the meaning shifts. And third, ask what is being implied rather than stated outright. What assumptions are being smuggled in? You don't need to become cynical or stop reading the news. You just need to become linguistically aware. Because once you understand how language works, you realize that headlines aren't just telling you what to think about. They're quietly shaping how you think. This is Linguistics and More, where language meets media, power, and everyday life.